Welcome to Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports, where husky middle-aged men share insight on the latest Baltimore sports news. From the bank to the yard and beyond, we're breaking down the Ravens, Orioles, Terps, and more. Baltimore's best sports podcast starts right now.
Happy late night Sunday to all of you out there, and welcome to Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports. Jason, Mike, and John back together again. It's like a new record, I think, like 3 weeks in a row now. So who knew? Sorry we got a little late start tonight. Have any of you guys had a child that just will not go to sleep? It is one of life's mysteries, but if you're familiar at all with autistic children, multiply it by 1,000, and it's like playtime 24/7. It's pretty great, let me tell you. Never shuts off. Plus our friend of the show, Drew Cordola, here's my beverage. He gets very upset if we don't have adult beverages on the show. I don't think he wants to hear how we sound like sober, so we have to do all of that. But enough of all the rambling. Again, welcome to Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports. We have a great show for you tonight. We are going to recap the Super Bowl. We're going to talk Ravens and O's as always, and we are going to have a good old-fashioned presidential-ish debate between Mike and myself, hosted by John. Just a little something to get all Mike's anger out about the Orioles and such. And it's his therapy. It's like sitting on the couch, Mike. This is your chance to just let it all go.
I love sitting on the couch. It's one of my favorite things to do. So that sounds perfect, Jason. I can't wait to unleash.
Outstanding. And John, I see you got your USA jersey on today.
Yes, sir. That was a pretty good stomping we put on the old German team today, 5-1.
Just like World War II, baby.
Oh my God!
Yes, sir.
That's a great old fashioned stomping we gave to Germany, y'all. Let me tell you about that. Jesus, criminy. Let me tell you, holy crap!
I've lived in the South too long, Jason.
Oh goodness!
So you'll get here one day.
Tell me, Mike, is it still in the 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever it is back there in Maryland? Because it was in the 80s today. That's all I got to tell you.
It's freaking cold. It's like the snow, the big snowstorm I told you guys about a couple of weeks ago. The snow's still on the ground. Like it did not melt for 3 weeks. It's some type of record, I think, maybe second or third longest like snow lasting on the ground kind of deal. But it's just starting to melt because it got into the 40s the last couple of days. But there's a chance of snow this evening again because I think it's right around freezing. It started as rain, but there's a chance it might get slushy. But there's no school tomorrow anyway because, it's President's Day. So nothing really to worry about on that end of things. I just wish it would get warmer. I'm tired of playing golf at the simulator. I need to get outside somewhere where it's warm. So I'm looking forward to coming down to sunny Florida.
Dude, before we get to that, because I do want to talk about that, let me tell you, here's just a little, just a reminder for all of you older folks out there to not go outside and try to shovel your snow. You may have younger neighbors. You may have a son that still lives in Maryland, not in Florida. What that will prevent your old ass from doing is slipping on the ice and breaking your shoulder.
Oh, no.
That is what my 73-year-old father decided to do. And I don't even really know out of work for multiple weeks. It's not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing about it, but I'm just like, he has a neighbor with a snowblower. He did it. There's still this little tiny patch that it's these older people that are just like, I just can't, gotta get that one patch. And like, your father's not as old as my father, but he's probably the same way.
Oh,
Still
absolutely.
Going out and doing it. Even though
my mom was out there shoveling. My mom shoveled 4 times. I'm like, what are you doing? She falls walking the dog. I'm like, you are on ice. You're not an Olympic athlete. Look at what's going on out there and look at what you're not able to do and just figure it out.
Gosh. I'm going to tell you, at least John's dad, when he gets hurt, he's at least doing some sort of like physical exertion of like riding a bike. My father's shoveling snow, trying to ice skate on the driveway.
Well, the last time it was his Vespa. Last time he fell off his
Oh,
Vespa.
that's right. He fell off his Vespa. Oh my God.
Well, then he had to
I'll
have
tell
toe
you.
surgery from all his years of running and stuff. But no, the Vespa, my mom took it away, took the keys away.
Well, send it this way. I think I could use one of those. That would be
I
outstanding.
think you could.
Oh my God. Well, I digress from all of that nonsense. But yes, Mike is coming down here to sunny Florida here in the next couple weeks, and we are going to watch the Orioles play the Pirates in Bradenton, and then right next door on Saturday we're going to watch the Orioles play the Braves in Sarasota at their home park. So we're also, I think, going to try to do some as requested by our awesome audience. We're going to probably report on those games, but in addition to that, we're going to do. I think we're going to try to film. We're going to go play golf, but Mike's playing golf. I'm going to try to hit this stupid ball with a stick and see if I can get it to go in any general direction that I'm trying to. But we might videotape it, Mike. I'm not so sure yet, but we'll figure it out.
I'm not sure the audience knows what they're in for. First of all, I remember seeing you tee off a beer can before. I've said, and that was actually very successful. And additionally, my swing is not what we would call a thing of beauty. It is a baseball player who tried to teach himself how to play golf. So it could be entertaining at the least for the people who watch the video.
Have you guys seen this Chinese way of swinging where you apparently I think the form is actually right. Instead of bringing the club all the way above your head, it's back at an angle where your palm is up, and then you're hitting it down so that the club never changes its direction. And apparently, it's just like a baseball swing. Because the guy shows how you would do it as a baseball swing. So I'm like, well, shit, I'm going to try this, but Mike and I are going to get there. Look, if we go golfing at 9 a.m., we're getting there at 7 from Bloodies. Okay? It's Bloodies, and because I need to warm up, let me tell you. And I ain't talking about at the driving range. So this should all go fabulous. I don't see what could go wrong.
I said to John, I said, what about the 999 hot dog beer challenge? I said, well, yeah, it might not be a horrible time to get that shot.
So am I meeting you guys after this golfing thing?
Mike and I have to chat because I don't know what days we're doing what, because he's coming in really late on Thursday night. So the game's at 1:00 both days. So we have that. And then I have a daddy-daughter dance. So I got to run away for 2 hours Saturday night. So trying to fit everything in. I think we'll figure it out, but we may have to do golfing on Sunday. But all the people don't need to worry about that. We will figure it out so that you all can have lots of videos and fun things to watch on our Facebook page.
Jason,
yes,
I will
John.
be at the game with my children, and I think Lynette's going to come too. So,
outstanding.
Yeah. So
outstanding.
I told them all to be on their best behavior with you too.
Oh boy.
And then we can do the 999.
Oh God. You guys and your hot dogs. I don't eat processed food. I might die. I will drink beer though. Don't you worry. All right.
But they're all beef franks though, Jason.
I know.
If they're all beef franks. It's okay. Just don't eat the bread.
Well, that's the thing. One of the worst things is the index, the glucemic index, whatever you call it. I don't even know what it's called on the bread. That'll kill you quicker than anything. But anyway, I digress again. Okay, so we haven't had a chance to recap the Super Bowl since the last time we were on. The Seattle Seahawks did defeat the New England Patriots to win their second Super Bowl. Was that a very exciting game if you like a lot of scoring from both teams? There was scoring for one team. But overall, to me, I mean, it reminds me, Mike, ironically enough, of a Ravens type Super Bowl. Like the first one they were in is kind of what I was watching develop.
It was well played by the defenses early on. And that's what I kind of remember from the Ravens-Giants Super Bowl as I think back on it. And kind of neither team was really moving the ball particularly well, but Kenneth Walker was able to kind of grind out the ball on the ground a little bit. And that was really the difference early on in the game, I feel like. And then once Seattle had a significant lead of double digits, man, they just pinned their ears back and it was pretty much over. And that's similar to what you're saying, Jason. That's kind of how the Ravens operated back in the day when they made it to the Super Bowl early on. Excitement wise, it just depends on what you're looking for. I enjoyed the commercials. That was very exciting. And the game itself, I enjoyed the defensive aspect of the game, but it wasn't, if you're just the average viewer of a football game, it probably wasn't super exciting for you to watch.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, it's as far as defense goes. I mean, you Christian Gonzalez on one side. I mean, and then Witherspoon on the other. Like it, to me, it's very, very good, very fun game to watch if you like defense. I mean, John, were you surprised about anything in the game? I know we had talked previously about our sleepers for MVP. One of your 9 that you guessed, Mike, before you decided on one, which I believe was Rashid Shaheed, was the guy that I picked, which is Kenneth Walker. And I had my second was Cooper Kupp. John, anything surprise you about that or anything with the game?
Not really. I mean, like what I said was Mike McDonald's going to overload that left side of the offensive line with the 2 rookies. And if you look at what they did on the interception return for a touchdown, was they occupied both of those blockers and then brought their corner from the other side of the field right through the vacant hole there. And Drake May just didn't have time, because they did basically what I said they were going to do, was just overload that left side, take the 2 rookies on, and make his day miserable. And that's what he did. And he's a great defensive coach. And I think, the experts on TV and on the radio and things like that were saying kind of the same thing, was that it's going to be a defensive thing from the get-go. And it's whichever quarterback is going to stay upright longer. And I think Sam Darnold had a better running game, had a better blocking scheme in front of him. And that was really the difference in the game, was Sam Darnold stayed up long enough to make a few throws. And then, the running game was far superior to that of New England's.
Well, pay attention, Ravens fans, because if you are a fan of Mike McDonald, then you're going to really like Jesse Minter, because he's very similar in a lot of the ways he wants to play. And I think it starts with what McDonald had the Seahawks doing, which was getting to the quarterback with only 4 guys rushing. Whether it's, and however the Ravens are going to go about doing that. I mean, 2 D tackles, 2 ends. I mean, that's terrific. That's the dream, right? Be able to get to him by and even if you don't sack him, just like at least making everything speed up, right? So that's one for me. And then running the football, obviously for the when the Ravens played, the Patriots early in the year, you saw Derrick Henry go nuts early on, and then they went away from him, which was a huge. We've already been down that road. Why that was a big mistake. So that's why I thought Kenneth Walker would play the role that he did, and like you said, Mike, that's what ended up happening. Also, number 2, Ravens fans, pay attention, because they drafted 2 offensive linemen, but unfortunately they played on the same side. So it worked out during the year, but your left tackle and your left guard were both rookies. The good thing is, but then the double-edged sword to that, they were both rookies and they played pretty much every game this year except for a couple. So, Mike, for me, I say these because there's a revamping of the offensive line that's going to happen, at least 2 spots, maybe 3, depending on what happens with the center. So with that being said, it's when you have 2 rookies on the line, it's one thing. But when you have them on the same side, you're kind of rolling the dice.
Yeah, I mean, I think the guy from LSU, is it Campbell? He was banged up a little bit this year too at the very end of the year, and he did not play well at all in the playoffs. Like, he did not play well in any of their playoff games particularly, but early on in the year he played pretty well when he was healthy. Like you said, that experience is invaluable for those guys. From purple sunglasses on, I'm watching this from a Ravens perspective. You look at the getting our pass rush with 4, which we haven't been able to do for years. And then also, like you said, in the trenches, building in the trenches, a defensive line that can stuff the run and get pressure on the quarterback. And then the blitzes can be just thrown in here and there. They don't have to be every play. And then on the offensive line, being able to keep your quarterback upright. When Lamar Jackson has a few seconds to throw the football, he's just dynamic and dangerous. But when he has to run for his life immediately, or he drops back in the pocket and continues to drop back another 5 yards, that's where we get into trouble. So if you're looking at this Super Bowl and you're thinking, Ravens, what are you paying attention? This is how teams are winning in the league. Drafting young offensive linemen to go alongside your really expensive quarterback is probably a good way to go. And then additionally, how to get pressure with those front four without blitzing every play.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny, and we're going to kind of get into this a little bit, so we can kind of go from here. I mean, to me, it's, if you're going to go with 4, and Matabike comes back, and he's healthy. Matabike, and who's the other big fella in there? Travis Jones. So there's your 2, and the 2 on the outside, Mike Green and Trey Hendrickson, or Jalen Phillips, or Adafe Owe. I don't know. Maybe in this system, but that's kind of, and then you re-sign Van Noy to come in and sub in, and all of a sudden there's your 4. So to me, and Hendrickson's got a motor. He reminds me a lot of like the McCrary type, where it's just like you just keep going and going. So that takes us right into did you guys, before we move on, anything else you wanted to say about the Super Bowl? Okay, cool. We all 3 of us, I think, picked the Seahawks in a close game. I think we all said it would be close. It was not. It was not close, but that's okay. We're allowed to be wrong every once in a while. Okay, so John, tell me, and I think I know your answer here. Actually, I think you're going to choose between 1 or 2 guys, and Mike's probably going to be the same here. What is the biggest re-signing that the Ravens have to do? If you want to mention more than 1 player, it's fine.
Linderbaum. Linderbaum is the number 1. Has to re-sign Linderbaum. They have to do whatever they got to do to re-sign Linderbaum. And then number 2, I like Tylan Wallace. I think he's a guy who can fill a number of spots on the roster. He knows he works fairly well with Lamar Jackson. He can play multiple roles on special teams. He can do things, but I think he'd be my other guy. But I don't think they're going to bring Ricard back. I think he's going to be too expensive. Likely, there's no way he's going to be too expensive. You can't have 2, $18 million tight ends. But Linderbaum is the number 1. He's too good to let go, and his chemistry with Jackson is too important to let walk. And you're not going to get another first-round center like him in a million years.
Sorry, John. Tylan Wallace has New York Giant written all over him. Over him. And I don't think I need to go into why, but
him and Falele going to share an apartment over there.
Yeah, and before I let Mike go, the only other thing I wanted to say was that the issue with Ricard is it's just what they decide to do, right? The Ravens they may not use a fullback. So that might just go on to, the 49ers use a fullback. I don't know. How that's going to turn out. There are certain teams that use it. I'm not sure we're going to do that next year. But Mike, who is your must-sign number 1 player?
Yeah, Jason. To me, Ricard, again, that's a system issue. Depends on what's going on there. Linderbaum, obviously, I think is crucial, but the question is, does he price himself out? Does he realize his worth? Because every team in the NFL, if you look at all the websites, want Tyler Linderbaum. Like that is on their offensive line wish list. So if he's reading the clippings about himself and wants to bet on himself and not sign, like he's going to probably be able to make more money elsewhere than he would be able to make here just because of the financial restraints of the Ravens. So it just depends on if the Ravens want to pay Linderbaum, which I don't know that they can afford to pay what some of these other teams are. And can they get him signed before free agency hits? I think if he hits free agency, it's over. So it's got to happen before free agency hits. So with that being said, there's a couple guys to me that stand out above the others, and they might surprise you a little bit. Jordan Stout to me is really important. He was a Pro Bowler, this coming off this season, and he played really well. And I think our special teams is important. If you're going to depend on your defense to play well, you need your special teams to change field positions as well. So Jordan Stout to me is one you got to look at. And I really liked how Chidobe Awuzie played this year. And I would take a look at him again and try, and especially if you decide to let Marlon Humphrey go or you're trying to revamp the secondary a little bit, I like what he did this year. He was very steady, very consistent game in and game out. And he tackled, he covered, he had some passes defended, and he wasn't out of position. He was always kind of where he was supposed to be on the field. And I think, depending on what you're thinking about in free agency, that might be somebody you want to maybe wrap up early before free agency starts and kind of, make sure your stable of cornerbacks stays pretty stocked. So those two guys came to mind for me, Jason.
So the reason I didn't mention, or that when I'm sitting here thinking of my guy, I didn't mention Jordan Stout, was because I think it's a foregone conclusion. I think it's an easy check to write and to fit in there, because I think it's very important. I think they see that. I mean, it's, why bring somebody in and roll the dice when you already have someone, or maybe they do. I don't know, but they drafted him, and they didn't sign do a undrafted rookie situation. It was they drafted him. So I'd be surprised if they let him go. I'm stuck on Linderbaum, and the reason why is because, Mike, there's already two guard replacements that they have to do, in my eyes. So 3, if they let him go. And I've already told you that I think that the first couple rounds of the draft need to be on the interior offensive line and on the defensive line. And I think that's where all your attention has to go. And then you can figure out the rest. However, I do think maybe they try to find a trade to fill one of these guard spots, or maybe they find like one free agent, one trade, and something else, or maybe they find their left tackle. I said this weeks ago. They find their left tackle of the future, and they let him play guard like J.O. did for a couple years, and then Stanley retires. But yeah, I mean, to me, I think Ardarius Washington's interesting. I think Van Noy's fine. It's fine. I think he's a luxury, but I think he wants to be here from everything I've heard. It's Jordan Stout again. I really hope it's a foregone conclusion, so it's not an issue. Sorry, John Tavlin Wallace. I mean, we can find another guy that can do that, I guess. But
I was reading, I was reading somewhere, listening to Locked On Ravens, that they want to bring back Hopkins.
Yeah, I think it's mutual if it's the right deal, right? I mean, They like his leadership. I mean, he can still play a little bit.
He can still catch the ball well. He catches the ball very well.
Doesn't separate, but hasn't separated in 6 years anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's just the hands are great. That's what you want. Okay, next question for you guys. From outside the organization, give me your top target, or if you have another one, or couple, that's fine too. Mike, would you like to go first?
I have 22 listed, but I'm going to try to narrow it down. All right. So, I think you have to obviously look at pass rusher. If I don't say Trey Hendrickson, I think I'm nuts. Like, he's the guy. Like, if he gets if they don't franchise tag him, which I don't think they will, he has free agency, and you're going to find a big ticket item, that's the big ticket item you spend on, like, to me. So he's the first guy that comes to mind. A couple sneaky guys. And Jason, you mentioned a little bit about guard. I would look at this guard group, and I wouldn't look at the high end, but I would look at some of these steady guys, maybe looking for a second contract. I know that, there's a bunch of names out there. David Edwards, you got Redunce from New Orleans. You've got Zion Johnson, who might be a little more expensive from the Chargers. But there's some guys out there who could be a more steady presence for us than a Falalele or a ticket, on one of these younger guys in the draft. So possibly a guard. And then a couple names under the radar for me. How about David Njoku as that second tight end guy? If you're looking for somebody to replace the athleticism of, Isaiah Likely, a little older, but maybe a similar skill set, I would be curious to see what he looked like in the Ravens offense. I know he's probably 29-ish, something 30, somewhere in that range, but he would be very interesting to me. And then I think a linebacker would be very intriguing to me. There's some names out there. I mentioned Devin Lloyd, I think, on a previous episode, is a free agent. Quay Walker is a free agent. Leo Chanel from the Chiefs would be a guy that I would like as well.
John, thoughts?
Yeah, I think an edge rusher, Hendrickson would be the number one guy. And as I look down this list, there's a bunch of other edge rushers as well. But if but like Mike said, I think a guard is going to be important. Elijah Vera Tucker from the Jets, he has an injury history, but he might be somebody who he's been decent when he's healthy. So they take a stab at him, or somebody like if Joe Bitonio from the Browns, if he stays around, you sign him for a year or two until you can get somebody in. But then also possibly a cornerback or wide receiver. Somebody down the list like like an Asante Samuel, or somebody like that too. Who, if Marlon walks, you just kind of bring in to fill. The one thing that I thought was interesting was, what do you guys think about bringing back Odafe Owe?
Yeah, we kind of talked about this before, Mike and I. I don't know if you were on here, but I mean, it's intriguing to me just because he has a relationship with Mentor from last year. I don't know what his relationship was with the front office and what type of situation that might be dead, and I don't know his mentality, John. His mentality could be pay me now, like more than anything. So Mike, you can go, but I'm saying it could be money over fit,
No, I think those are great points. I don't know. I think that ship has sailed. I'd like to see a new take on that. I personally, like, I just didn't really. I don't know if it was the coaching staff or it just wasn't a great fit, or the scheme, but it didn't work well here. Obviously, if it's Minter's scheme, that could change. But like you said, Jason, maybe there's some bad blood there with the trade. I don't know what went down, but I'd rather see them move on. And if you're going to go sign a Charger, go get Khalil Mack if you want to go get somebody.
Yeah. So the Asante Samuel thing, John, you do have to remember that he could have been had by the Ravens last year, but he was also on the Chargers, and he did not play the last year with Jesse Minter being there. They released him, so I'm not sold on it. He was a big free agent guy for me last year, but so here's my biggest issue with all of these names, and then I'll tell you who I think. I want to say pass rush. I want to say guards. But, I don't know what this coaching staff – I have 100% confidence that Jesse Minter is going to go get his guys and make it work in his system. But what are his guys? Are his guys to go ahead and overpay for pass rushers, or is it to get numbers at pass rusher and just start rotating guys? I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna do. I mean, I think Roquan is probably one of their top priorities to make sure he sticks around. The cap number's crazy if they try to cut him anyway, but I think they try to build around him specifically as well. Yeah, I mean, sure, Hendrickson to me would be my number one target if everything was black and white. But Cleveland's got two guards that are out there. Is it Teller and Bitonio? I mean, sure. I mean, but again, they have to fit into the system that Declan Doyle wants to run. Do they need athletic guys? Do they need young, fast, whatever? Or do they need big road graders? Whatever they decide to do, I'm behind it. But just commit to doing it and go get your guys. So that's why it's very hard for me to sit here and say, but I guess if gun to head, I'll say Hendrickson. Sure. Mike.
Just this is kind of a crazy idea, but I just want to throw it out there while we're talking free agents. Is how thrilled are you with our kicking game? Brandon Aubrey is a restricted free agent down in Dallas. If you're going to try to win a Super Bowl, I mean, obviously they got to put a tender. They'll put a first or a second round tender on him and try to get, that's $5 million, I think, for a second round tender and $7 million for a first round tender. And I think they would do at least the second round tender on him. So I don't know that we'd be willing to part with a second round draft pick, but I think it would be interesting to explore that. I know that's quickly giving up on Tyler Loop, but I don't know that's not necessarily the Ravens' way. But we saw the kicking game cost them last year, to play devil's advocate.
How well do you know Jerry? I mean, I feel like I know Jerry pretty well. Jerry ain't letting that man out of that stadium. How about them Cowboys?
I would have said he wouldn't have let Micah Parsons out of that stadium either, but that's crazy.
That's very true. Yeah, but he's their second best offensive player. Why would he let him leave? If he could. I don't know, man. I don't know. No, I don't see it happening. I would not. You guys know how I feel about kickers, and it's not good. So I wouldn't draft a kicker. I wouldn't. I would just let it like. There's so many guys out there as free agents that could have made that kick, guys. I'm sorry, but there are so many guys out there. This whole way of thinking could go away with John Harbaugh. We could have a new kicker in next year. No one's talking about that, but we very well could. There couldn't be like building this kicker dynasty anymore. That was a Harbaugh thing, and he got lucky with it, by the way. Okay, so I don't want to say it was all luck, but it was pretty luck. But now the guy who's is it Randy Brown that worked with the kickers specialist? He's still here, so there's a chance that he ends up staying. So, John, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think after 1 year, the Ravens' way of doing things is you don't waste draft picks on players that you're just getting rid of. So I think they'll give him another year, and if he makes it through half the season and he's inconsistent, then they may go, try to find somebody on the wire there. But I think they're going to give him one more shot, and then we'll see what happens after this year.
Okay, let's make it a little spicy now. Let's get a little spicy. So during Super Bowl week, Derrick Henry was recruiting out at the Super Bowl and was mentioning, who's that? AJ Brown from the Eagles. John, your thoughts? What are your thoughts on AJ Brown being a trade piece for the Ravens to bring in?
I think it would be. I mean, if it fits, if the glove fits, you must. No, that was something different. But no, I no, I think it fits. I think if the price isn't too high and we can fit it in this cap number and everything, I think a number one wide receiver is something that would get this offense going, because we talk about it before that Zay Flowers is a glorified slot receiver. He's not a number one guy. Your number one guy's got to be able to get open by himself. He's got to be able to make contested catches, go up and catch the football. And Zay Flowers is not, I mean, he's 5'8". I mean, he can run past somebody, but he's not going to out jump anybody. And we need to get some guys in like that so Zay can move into the slot where he's more effective. And I think an AJ Brown would be great. Just a matter of what are the Eagles going to be asking, and will the Ravens part with high draft picks to bring an experienced guy in like that? Because in the past they haven't, and I think that's going to be the thing now. Is okay, is the draft pick thing like a Harbs thing, or is that a DaCosta thing, or is that an Ozzie thing, or is that a organization thing, or how is that all working together? Because if I can trade a number one draft pick for an experienced wide receiver who's going to be a number one. Because I saw us drafting a wide receiver in some of the mock draft first rounds. And I was like, that doesn't interest me whatsoever.
Okay. So there are too many pieces that this team needs. They should be trading high draft picks. They have a lot of draft picks, but they should not be trading high draft picks for a wide receiver. If you want to trade one draft pick, perhaps for an experienced edge rusher, sure. But the problem is you need to fill your offensive line and your defensive line. That's not the wide receiver is not a priority for me. And that is a giant headache, by the way. But I want Mike to go ahead. So, Mike, what do you think? And there's a caveat to this also. How likely are you on a scale of 1 to 10 to trade for him from me in our Dynasty League? I'm trying to gauge interest here. We're negotiating.
Oh my gosh. I have to look at my team. It's been a minute, so I'll let you know when I get back to that. No,
are you playing fantasy baseball again, Mike? Because your team last year had some problems.
Never again. No, I can't do that. I can't. I don't have the attention span for fantasy baseball. All right, so
I have to ask you that.
Back to AJ Brown. I will be a firm pass on AJ Brown. I do not want AJ Brown. Number one, he caused issues in Philly, and they have a mobile quarterback. And they have another receiver there, like a Zay Flowers type. It's just a recipe for disaster, it seems like. I don't think that would be helpful. I'm not saying it couldn't work. I just don't want to take the chance on it with the draft picks you're going to have to give up and the contract you're going to have to give him, which I'm not willing to pay that amount for a wide receiver right now. So no, thank you. If you're going to pay for a wide receiver, go sign Mike Evans. He can do the same thing on probably a little bit lesser deal on the back end of his career. He can win the contested balls. He can get open a little bit still. And he's not he can do it at probably a little bit more of a discounted price, I would guess. And, or go draft one in the second or third round that can do something similar. I'd be down with that. Jason, I'm with you. I'm not spending my first round pick on a wide receiver. And it's supposed to be a pretty good receiver class. So there'll probably be some guys who fall down a little bit and you can maybe get somebody there. My question for you guys, what is similar, Jason? Brandon Ayuk is going to be available, I assume, after all the crap that went down in San Francisco. Is that somebody you're interested in at all?
Absolutely. I mean, again, it's like fit and what you want him to do and how it's going to go. I mean, I wouldn't rule it out. The guy that look, if you're considering AJ Brown, why wouldn't you just go after a guy that's going to be a free agent, George Pickens? Like, I mean, you can get involved in that, and he was phenomenal this year. And Pittsburgh got rid of him because of whatever, and they could have used him. So Andy would have been so good next on the other side of DK Metcalf. But that's something that'll happen down the road, perhaps. But something I wanted to mention, Mike mentioned drafting wide receivers in the second round. Some really good wide receivers over the last few years have gone in the second round. AJ Brown, DK Metcalf, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You can find a lot of really good receivers. They don't have to be in the first round. So to me, priority is trenches. And probably going to be a safety in there somewhere because Minter's in the McDaniel or McDonald tree as well. So for me, I mean, there's a lot that's going to come out, but I just system for me. It's what do these guys need and go get it. Like it's easy. If this was John Harbaugh, I'd say go after Hendrickson because we know what the systems are. You know, if it was everybody coming back. Go ahead, Mike.
Just real quick, Jay. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but Kerry Colbert is their new wide receivers coach, right? And that's something that intrigues me a little bit because of his experience in college at USC with guys like Amon-Ra St. Brown and some of these other really good USC receivers. So I'm curious if we'll get a little bit better in the draft with maybe him in the building, kind of targeting and understanding these guys. And he even worked with some of the guys in Denver who were really kind of developing and coming along, like Vele and Patrick and some of those other guys who kind of overperformed, I think, what their value might have been. So I am curious to see if we get better at drafting wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big one for me. And then, or not even drafting, Mike, just somehow developing these guys into something. Like get them and then develop them into something useful, formidable, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm big on Walker this year. I mean, I was last year, and I thought he was one of my guys out of camp. I thought he had a pretty good year, so maybe they use him more this year. So we'll see what happens as far as that goes. All right. Anything else you guys want to touch on as far as the Ravens go? All right. So Mike has our rundown where Mike is going to ask John and I a whole bunch of questions, and we're going to do our best to answer them, but God knows how that's going to go. So we will see how it goes.
It's a little rundown with a twist today, boys, because today's rundown is Olympic style in honor of the Winter Olympics that are taking place in Milan Cortina right now. My kids have been plastered to the screen. We've been watching all kinds of Olympics, from ski jumping to figure skate, speed skating, where they all knock each other over like roller derby. We're watching some of that. Some skeleton John was talking about earlier, where you careen downhill without any safety protocol on like a piece of plastic. So like, there's all kinds of fun things to do. So here's how the rundown is going to work tonight. You're going to award gold, silver, and bronze with every question I ask. Okay. So it's basically a top 3 list where you give gold, silver, and bronze. And that is how you will answer each question. So the first question, Orioles off-season additions. Who wins your gold, your silver, and bronze medal for the Orioles off-season additions thus far? John, why don't you award your gold first, and then Jason will award his gold, and then I'll let you go silver and bronze.
Pete Alonso, 100%.
Huh.
Jason, your gold?
Yes, my gold is Pete Alonso as well.
Okay, and what's your
Comes
silver and
immediately.
bronze, Jason? Since he stole the thunder of the
Yeah,
gold.
yeah. My silver is Shane Boz. I am huge on Shane Boz, and I think it's close for me between Boz and for oh gosh, who's the closer they just got? Why can I
Ryan
remember?
Helsley.
Helsley. So it's close for me between those guys. Whoever doesn't get the silver will get the bronze. It's a coin flip, but I am I'm more high, and I've said this so many times, on Boz because of what the Orioles have proven they can do to guys that are young and controllable that they get from other organizations. They did it with Broadus. They did it with Rogers. I have faith that they see something in Boz. So that's why for me it's silver. And then for bronze, it's got to be Helsley for me, and Kittredge with an honorable mention.
All right, John.
So yeah, I was gonna say Boz is my number 2 because I think from the way like Jason said, the way that the Orioles get guys with control and then are able to boost them and make them into a much better player than what they were before. Plus, he's only had 1 year off the Tommy John, and towards the end of the year, he looked really good. And then my bronze would be Ward. I think pairing him with Alonso and then Gunnar in the middle of the lineup provides enough protection that I think everybody's going to get pitches to hit, and you're not going to be able to pitch around one guy to get to another, and I think that's gonna really help. And now, and the honorable mention for bronze too then is Blaze, now with Westberg hurt, with Holiday hurt, a guy like that who can cover all these positions and who has a pretty decent bat for a utility guy. That's probably my bronze number 2.
Can I say something before we move on? Okay, so I forgot about Ward because it feels like we signed him 3 years ago. It was the very first move at all season, and I completely forgot about him. That's a good thing, just so you know.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign. All right, keeping with our Olympic flavor. All right, Winter Olympics. I know it's been on at my house. Jason, I know you said you haven't put it on too much at your house. John, I know you've been watching a little bit. You got your USA jersey. I know you watched some of the hockey game today. I need you to award gold, silver, and bronze. You have an option here. Your favorite to watch Winter Olympic sports, or the ones you think you could most likely compete in. Gold, silver, and bronze. Okay, so
today
you have
competed right now in this position.
Today, yes.
Oh, okay.
So you have to look at the list of Winter Olympic sports. Which ones do you think you have a chance at best competing in?
Oh man, who's going first?
John, you go first because you're laughing and you've seen more Olympics. So give Jason some time to pick
gold.
some.
I could curl. I could definitely do curling. I'd push the little stick or shoot the little rock down the ice. I could definitely do that.
Shoot the rock.
Shoot the rock. John, that's basketball. Shooting the rock.
Okay.
Curl the stone, and it could get it in the house. You have to get it in the house.
Yeah. Okay. I
could.
could.
Shooting the rock was some sort of drug situation too. Like,
I could definitely be the brake man on a bobsled. Probably a 2 or a 4-man bobsled. I'll say that's the silver. I think I'm pretty quick and I'm pretty strong, so I really think I can push the sled. And then I'll take my lucky egg out, and we'll all be good. And then for bronze, I don't know if there's a bronze sport maybe I could be like a hockey goalie or something. You don't have to go very far, but I have to work on my flexibility a little bit. But I think the bronze I could probably do a hockey goalie.
All right, John. That was good. Jason, what do you got?
I'm going to give you both. I'm going to say my favorites to watch, first of all, are, I got to say, hockey and then curling. They're very close. And then after that, I would say probably figure skating. Those would be my 3. As far as what I can do, oh boy, I would say curling. I mean, cornhole I'm pretty nasty at. and shuffleboard too. So it's similar. It's just on ice. I can do it. Um, bobsled. Bobsled. Yeah, probably bobsled. Although, yeah, okay, we'll say bobsled. And then third, I would say ski jump. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm just gonna go for it. Oh my god!
Your dad broke his shoulder on the ice. You broke your legs and your arm as you're rolling down the hill.
There is not a chance I am doing it. I'll tell you right now, friend of the show, Drew Cordula, not a chance I'm doing it sober, buddy. Not a chance I'm doing it sober.
So that's funny, Jason, because Julie and I just had this conversation about ski jumping because I said that's one I might be able to do. If you watch, there's these two little tracks that your skis go in. So like I was like, I think if I just stay still in those tracks. Now she was like, you're flying through the air at 1,000,000 miles an hour and you got to land, right? I was like, well, I guess I could try to figure it out while I'm in the air, but I don't know if that would go well or not. But I'm definitely not doing the slalom, and I'm not doing the snowboard super G. I'm not doing the half pipe stuff. Like, so maybe the jumping, but other than that, I'm probably in trouble.
Did you guys see Snoop? Did you guys see Snoop Dogg at the curling?
Oh God, no.
Yes, Snoop Dogg was at the curling, and then the American mixed team, a guy who graduated high school with my sister, is one of his best friends from college, and he was there sitting next to Snoop Dogg.
Oh, that's outstanding. Wait, so is curling? Does curling go? We have a whole other week of Olympics, right? That's still happening.
Yes.
Wait, is curling happening still next week, or is it over?
It's still happening, I think, because they have like 4 different.
I usually I'll ramp up week 2.
Yeah,
usually how that works.
They're doing the round robin stuff right now to kind of like seed them, and then for I know they did the mixed already, but I think then they do the men's and women's. They're seeding them and that kind of stuff.
And then there's like 4-person curling teams, aren't there?
Yeah,
that's the men's and women's teams. They have someone who calls the line. They have the sweeper guys, and then they have the guy who tosses the rock down the ice. So
if we ever want to, near my mom and dad's house in Minnesota, there's a curling center, and you can go and they can teach you how to do it. It's really fun.
Outstanding.
I'd use about 15-pound dumbbells. I can do some curling already, so I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh wow.
Ravens pass rush is an area of need. Clearly, give me your gold, silver, and bronze on who you would want as pass rushers for the Baltimore Ravens that are available this upcoming offseason. It could be trade or it could be free agency.
I will go gold Hendrickson, silver Phillips, and bronze Crosby. And Crosby, because I don't want them to trade for everything that it's going to cost to do it. You saw the Packers do it, and it didn't work out. Yeah, you had a major injury, but I mean, there's so much you can do with those picks and such, unless you somehow have a bunch of picks sitting around. But those would be my 3.
John?
Yeah, I'll go Hendrickson. Crosby's my silver, and then we'll throw out Joey Bosa, free agent, as your bronze. Because it seems like we could bring in some of these guys who kind of washed up or, kind of on the tail end of their career and kind of turn them around a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, some honorable mentions might be Chason in New England played really well this year, I thought. And he had a renaissance up there with Mike Vrabel. And another guy, again, Khalil Mack, I mentioned it before, might be someone who Jesse Minter's familiar with that could be a possibility as well.
Or Hassan Reddick.
Oh, that's another good name. He's bounced around a little bit, but definitely is.
So this is what I'm saying about how these guys work. If they can see something in one of these guys, or like Hassan Reddick could be the other guy on the other side of Mike Green, and all of a sudden changes everything because he frees up a lot of that stuff. To me, he didn't have a great year in Tampa, but Tampa didn't have a great year.
All right. Give me your gold, silver, and bronze that are going to finish the year for the Baltimore Orioles as your top hitters. Gold, silver, and bronze. It could be however you label them category-wise for hitting. You just give me your top 3. Let's start with John.
The gold is going to be Gunner. I think Gunner is going to be going for a triple crown. I think if he stays healthy with the help behind him, I think he's going to see a lot of good pitches to hit. The silver is going to be Alonso. I think he's gonna probably knock 35 to 40 home runs, hit upper 200s, 100 plus RBIs. And then the bronze, we'll say Jackson Holiday. Yeah, he comes off the surgery and gets it going, and hits above 300 for the season.
Oh
You think, Jay?
man, I think Gunner's going to have a top 5 MVP year. I think Pete Alonso coming in really helps him out, as I've been saying forever. But yes, I think Gunner by far, and I think Alonso too for silver. I'll agree with John. So I wanted to say for bronze, I would say Westberg, but now I'm scared because those oblique injuries stick with you. And so I'm going to say Adley. I'm going to say Adley Rutschman is going to be my sleeper pick to be the bronze medal finisher. And by the way, he killed it in batting practice off of who's a reliever we have? Clay Aiken? Yeah, off Clay Aiken.
Clay Aiken.
Yeah.
I think he's a singer.
Yeah, he's an American Idol.
American
He's
Idol,
mixed. Yeah.
No,
so now he pitches for the Orioles. It's great. He gained a little weight now.
Oh, Clay. Let me give maybe a sleeper there. Maybe Samuel Basayo. I think to see what he could do.
I hope so, man.
That's one I would love to see take off this year. All right, let's switch gears and get back into something that is near and dear to my heart, which is my dad bod. And so for you guys, I'm asking you to give me your top 3 potato chip flavors: gold, silver, and bronze. And if you're in the store and you're in the aisle with all those things that are not great for you, what bags are you grabbing? So Jason, you're going to start with this one.
Oh my goodness, let me tell you. So you'll be happy to know that it doesn't exist for me or Jess, but Cole has his whole own snack section. But if you take them, you have to deal with Cole. And it'll be great. You'll see. It'll be awesome. Good luck. I would say Cheetos or hot Cheetos. One of those two, like for one. Doritos for sure. Probably Cool Ranch and then nacho or spicy. And third, I would say, oh God, what is my third? I don't know. Probably another flavor of Dorito. Does Dorito count for more than one? Can I have more?
Those are potato chips, though.
That's okay.
Oh, they're not chips? We're not talking about those?
No, Mike said.
I thought Mike meant. Yeah, but I thought he meant like snack chips.
Do they not count? Snack chips. That's
snack chips. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. I was trying to figure out potato chips.
Oh, what's your boring old crappy potato chips, John? God. You and your sour cream and onion lays and whatnot. Yeah, go ahead, hit me with it, sister. Tell me what you got. What you working
The Old
with?
Bay ones are my favorite.
I don't want to hear anything about John's Lays. All right, here we go.
Right. Oh God. All right, go ahead. Old Bay chips. What else you got?
The Old Bay chips. The Munchie snack mix.
No, that's a good one too.
Where you get Cheetos and Doritos but they put pretzels in there, and that's terrible. Like pretzels are the worst. So I pick through the bag and get all the pretzels out. And then I think, Jason, I'll have to go with the Doritos.
Right.
But the pizza Pringles though are up there. I'm going to say the pizza Pringles for the bronze.
Also a Cole favorite.
Yeah, once you pop, the fun don't stop, as they say. So be careful.
Absolutely.
All right, you're Eric DaCosta. And here comes the NFL draft. What are the top 3 positions of need, gold, silver, and bronze, for the Baltimore Ravens this offseason? John, I'm going to start with you. Jason's going to say the same position for all 3, but you're up.
Well, it's going to depend on if we sign Linderbaum or not. But I'm going to say
you just tell me your top 3. Just give me your top 3.
Interior offensive lineman, interior defensive lineman, and a pass rusher.
Jason?
Yeah. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I'm sorry. It's guards. It's a tackle maybe that can switch in around. It's defense. It's depending on Matabike. It's D tackle. It's D end. That's it. Like gold, and they're all the same for me, Mike. Like, pick one. Like, guard is gold, but also gold could be defensive end. Like, it's all to me. They're just so important. But if I had to rank them for sake of the argument, I will say um, that guard is gold. Defensive end would be silver, and defensive tackle would be bronze.
Yeah, I like that order. I like the guard as gold, and I like the defensive end as silver. I would say, if Matabike comes back healthy, it's a lot less of an issue. But I think the linebacking core needs to get upgraded. So I would say a linebacker to me. I know that I keep harping on linebacker, but I would like to see some solid linebacker play, not just a rookie who we're hoping does what he needs to do. Just give me another guy in there. That's good.
Are you talking inside, outside, all the same?
I'm thinking inside, somebody who could probably play inside. It could be someone who could play outside too, but like I think someone next to Roquan, depending on what the system they play in.
How what about Teddy?
He's great. He's hurt. We'll see. Anzalone's out there. There's some guys out there who can play. Chanel. There's some guys
for sure.
Think about pairing those two guys together and then having the versatility to have Teddy rotate in there, man. How good would that be? So anyway, I digress when it comes to talking about the positions of need. I'm going to go to AL East order of finish, gold, silver, and bronze this 2026 baseball season.
Oh, my gosh. Dang.
Tough question.
But only because, like, I'm so frustrated. Like, if I'm a Yankee fan, I'm so pissed off right now. Like, you think Mike's mad as an Oriole fan? Damn. I would say Toronto, I ain't doing it. I did it last year, and I said I wouldn't do it again. So I'm going to be modest, and I'm going to say the Blue Jays, the Yankees, the Orioles, all three make the playoffs. The Red Sox, and then the Rays.
All right, John, you're up.
I'm gonna say the Blue Jays, the Red Sox, and the Orioles. In that order.
I can't write off the Yankees. I can't. They're bringing back everything, Mike. They're bringing back the same thing as last year. So what do you say? What's your pick?
If it were me, I would say Yankees 1, Toronto 2, Orioles 3. That's where I would go.
I just don't think the Red Sox did enough in their lineup either.
Yeah, I don't think the Red Sox replaced Alex Bregman, first of all. And their pitching should be really good. I think they should be in it. I think they'll be in it. I still think they have a chance to make the playoffs, even if the fourth best team in the AL East has a chance to make the playoffs. But to me, Toronto missed out on their two big targets of Tucker and Bichette. They did get Dylan Cease, so their pitching staff should be a little bit stronger. I think they'll contend with the Yankees. I think it'll be back and forth. But the Yankees got a lot of pitchers coming back that were injured, and they should be healthier this year. I think the Yankees, with Aaron Judge, is still probably the best player in the division.
Fair enough.
One more dad bod question. I couldn't help myself. All right, dad bod question. Gold, silver, bronze. Let's talk meats. Because Jason, I know how you love to cook meats. Just from our experiences at your festivities, the parties that you used to throw. And John, we know you like the meats because you've become a health nut. So let's go ahead and figure out top 3 gold, silver, bronze meat products that you enjoy.
John,
Jason,
would you like? Oh,
no, you're gonna start, Jason. Here we go. Let's go, Jason with the gold, John with the gold, and then we'll reverse it for silver, bronze.
So for my first meat, I'm going to say prime rib is my number 1. Gold
with au jus.
Oh God, yes, and horseradish.
Okay. No, thank you, but okay. All right, John.
I'll go with the steak, with a New York strip or a wagyu steak is probably the best. We'll start with that.
You would go New York strip over like a filet mignon?
Depending on the day, Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I mean,
Okay, because this is
if you
the
ever
gold medal meat. I'm just saying,
gold medal
gold
meat
medal.
fillet, but have you ever had a Wagyu steak, Mike?
Yeah, not
So do you
often.
guys know? Do you guys know what makes flavor?
Fat.
Fat.
Honestly, fat
Fat.
makes flavor. There is zero fat in a filet mignon. So you have to like season it crazy, right, to get it up
Yeah.
there. So to me, it's like the most overrated, overpriced meat out there. $30 a pound. I looked at it today at the store. I just happened to walk by. I was like, holy hell. Like, so ribeye for me, if you're choosing there like an actual steak, a ribeye is probably my top of the steaks in comparison to that. But filet mignon, I get it if you like it. You just have to self.
Yeah, right. So, John, you get to go silver and bronze here. Go ahead.
Uh, favorite meat. I would have to go with like blue crab. Is my
Why
second.
don't you switch it up to seafood?
Hmm.
Okay, what's your bronze there? As Mike asked for both, Sunshine.
Oh, and the bronze. I I love squid, like
Oh,
sautéed in its own ink. Oh, it's so delicious. Once you get past like the texture of the tentacles, it is so good. I
so
like
for
caviar
the
too. Caviar
for the
too.
wow, for the record, I love all of those things. I really do. I'm gonna keep it though. I'm not gonna throw seafood in this because blue crab to me would be probably the top. But I'm gonna go prime rib. I'm gonna say brisket. Now, for brisket, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I know it's not healthy, but I'm gonna eat it anyway. So brisket for sure. And then number three, I would say, oh man, it's like a ribeye, or I'd say like chicken wings. Like homemade, Jason makes the chicken wings. But I'm gonna say pit beef. I'm gonna say like a roast that I make, Maryland style pit beef is number
That's
three.
good. I like that. Nothing like a
Bronx.
really good medium rare pit beef.
Oh yeah.
Delicious.
So Mike, what are yours?
Oh man, gosh. I do like the filet, but you know what? We had steaks the other day for Valentine's Day. We decided our family was like, it's Valentine's Day Saturday. Everyone and their mother's going to be out for Valentine's Day at a restaurant, so we bought some steaks from the Butcher and Bay down here, which is it's a Gershbeck spinoff that's up in Kingsville
Mhm.
now. So we got some steaks, and they were sirloins, and they ended up being really good for a really reasonable price. So our whole family had that, and we did a little family paint night where we watched some YouTube video. I bought like $2 canvases at Michael's, and we did a little paint night. And we had some steaks, but
Aw, good
yeah,
for
it was
you.
good. Steaks, followed by, gosh, that pit beef sounds really good right now. I don't know that would have been on my list, but I would say a bacon cheeseburger maybe would go
Mhm.
there for me. And then for third,
On a lettuce wrap, not the carbs of a bun.
Man,
yeah, you
look what
can
I've done. This is
keep your lettuce.
fabulous.
Um, this is Dad Bods. I'm gonna eat my bun, and then finally,
That's
for my
what she said.
oh god,
Fair enough.
yeah, I hear you. That's third one's hard. Maybe like chicken thighs. I know that might sound kind of lame,
Oh
but
no, for sure.
a really good chicken thigh is delicious. Not a lot of bone going on there, and it can be awesome.
Outstanding. No, I love it.
All right. Let's see. I got one more. I got a couple more, but I'm just gonna do one more for tonight. You guys ready for this
Okay,
one?
I'm ready.
Let's go. Ravens coaching staff hires. In the offseason, they've really revamped almost their entire coaching staff, with the exception of a couple guys that they've kept on. So, who are your gold, silver, and bronze medalists for the Ravens coaching hires this offseason? And you cannot say the head coach.
Figured.
John,
Ja-
give me your gold medalist.
That's I mean I we'll go with Declan Doyle. I think that's the gold. I it's yeah, we'll go with Declan Doyle. No reason. Just we'll go with that.
All right, Jay, you get to go gold now.
Man, I got one for you. How about Joe Lombardi? That is going to be my sleeper pick for coaches, and it might be one of those things where he wears out his welcome in a couple years. But for me, that's going to be my number one, my gold medal guy. No, my silver medalist, and only because I want to be different from John. Declan Doyle, for me, would be the silver medalist, and then Anthony Weaver for me would be the. I think he gives something different to like Jesse Mentor. For him, it was like a no-brainer to bring him in, and they've worked together before. It just makes a lot of sense, and I think he's going to be able to get through to those guys. He's worked with all of them, all of Van Noy. He's worked with all the leaders. That's important. Matabike, Travis Jones, like what's his face in the middle, like all these guys, Hamilton. So yes, for me, Anthony Weaver. John,
All right,
silver
John,
and bronze.
What do you got?
Silver, I was gonna say Weaver. I think it's a very good Ravens hire, a guy who knows what the castle's like and knows the guys in there. And then I think Levine is a good one too. This for special teams coordinator. I mean, not that they do much, but with the way through the years the Ravens have concentrated on the special teams, I think that's going to be that could be another big one for kicking game. I know Jason, you hate the kicking game more than anything, but
no, he was not doing anything with the kicking game. That's Randy Brown. That's those guys. I'm just
but
like, listen. I mean, everyone in that building loves that man. Loves
absolutely
that man. All of the returning players love that man. So, John, that's a good one. I give you that one for sure.
All right. Well, that's all I got for the rundown tonight. So, Olympic flavor. You guys enjoy the second week of the Winter Olympics, and hopefully U.S. can catch. I guess it was Italy I saw and there's another Scandinavian country that were doing pretty well. Austria was doing pretty well. I saw. Who's winning the medal count, John? Can you look that up while we're moving to our next segment?
Actually, I just had it pulled up. Let's see. I think we were like third or fourth on the list.
It's got to be like Norway or
well, it's all the places that win like the cross country skiing and stuff.
All the cold places. Antarctica. I mean, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's right.
Medals.
Cold
so
places.
Norway, Italy, and then the United States.
There you go. Love the Italians.
We're tied with the Japanese. At 17.
I don't even have comments for these. This is great. All right. Outstanding. All right. Great. So we're going to play a quick game before we do our last segment, our great debate, which is our main event of the evening. But before them, just to kind of get the blood flowing, we're going to do one of our favorite games. What I can tell you right now, it's John's favorite game. It is Guess the Year. And so Mike and John, I'm going to give you all the clues, sports related, current events, and then you're going to tell me what year it all occurred. So the first one, the Oklahoma City bombing.
1995.
90 something.
95.
Mike, John, would you like to go with that guess, or would you like more clues?
I would like more clues because I trust John, but not that much.
The Houston Rockets beat the Orlando Magic to win the NBA title.
That should be enough, right, John?
I think it was 95.
Yep.
Now he just said, I think it was. He just went down on what he said.
Why did he downgrade?
95.
To me, that was
absolutely 95.
Very reinforcing.
Absolutely 95.
Toy Story was number one at the box.
Yeah, 95. Absolutely.
Mike, you do not look convinced.
No, I'm in. I'm in on 95. I'm in.
Rafael Palmeiro led the Orioles in hits, average, home runs, RBI, and at-bats.
Yeah.
95.
Now he's not so sure. Look at him. He's not so
95.
sure anymore, Mike.
That's 95. Yeah, I'm down.
You are correct. It is 1995. Well done, John. All right.
We wasted everybody's time. We should have just gone with the first one, Mike.
Oh, I got one right now. Right off the bat, you're not going to get. I guarantee I'll bet $1 million you don't guess this one right off the bat. The 49ers won the Super Bowl.
Well, there's 85, 87, 94.
4. Yeah.
Exxon Valdez ran aground and spilled 11 million
89.
gallons of oil.
89,
in the
right?
last-
That was
89.
89, John.
89.
Yeah.
Yep. 89.
Is that the guess, or do we want more clues?
Yes. No, we'll
No, I
just
think that's it.
You are correct. You are correct. Last category, last one. France wins the World Cup on its own soil.
is that 10?
But has it been done prior to that? Yeah, I'm probably gonna need at
I
least
don't
one
think so.
more
I
to
think it
make
was
sure.
10.
Juan Gonzalez wins the AL MVP.
No.
It's not 10, John.
No.
So that's like
97,
91. No, that's too. It's not
97.
97.
97.
No.
I think, or 98.
Juan Gonzalez was before all that. 91.
No, Juan Gonzalez was on the Rangers in the late 90s. He won, I think it was
Okay.
97.
All right, keep going because that's not right.
Scott Erickson led the Orioles in wins with 16.
Maybe it could be then.
Or is it 98? No, it's 98. It would have been 98. 98 because the World Cup and the Winter Olympics are the same year. So 98 was the Nagano Olympics. So it had to have been 98.
The
Go ahead,
Ravens
John.
took Dwayne Starks with the 10th
Yeah,
pick
98,
in the NFL
98.
draft.
98.
Clinton and
98.
Lewinsky scandal led to impeachment hearings.
Yeah, 98.
You went all out, Jay.
Oh, we got him. Yes, you are
98.
correct. 1998. And just for the record, I don't believe you guys have gotten any wrong yet. So
Man.
well done on the name.
John's
that
good
year.
at this because he's got that history thing he really likes to lean in on. He's got this thing for dates.
Yes, his father was a.
Yeah.
His dates don't have a thing for him, unfortunately. That's where we're at. Where we're at. All right. All right. So we are having our first ever presidential-ish debate on this show. John, you are going to be the, what do they call these people? The host or the
Moderator.
dipshit? Yeah, whatever.
I have seven topics. 7 topics. And with these topics, you each get a minute to answer.
Okay, so
And then
I
if you
originally,
call-
well, hold on one second, John. When I gave him this idea, Mike, I said 1 minute each. I mean, the show's kind of going over. Do we want to do 30 seconds each?
Yeah, 30 seconds is plenty.
30
Okay.
seconds each. And then if you're called out, you have 30 seconds to rebuke the other person. And you can't call them back out.
Interesting.
sense?
How do I call out? What do I just start yelling at him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
You interrupt each
Yeah.
other every 2 seconds. All right. So we got we're gonna settle off-season arguments: Orioles, Ravens, schools, food, drinks, and states. Topic one. Topic one is the Orioles rotation. It has been said that Orioles fans would have been ecstatic if the team added 2 pitchers with the upside of Trevor Rogers and Kyle Bradish. Many feel the front office hasn't done enough. What's your pitch to the Orioles fans about the starting rotation? Mike, we'll start with you.
I think this offseason was supposed to be one where we were in liftoff, supposed to go get an ace. We did not get an ace. I'm not saying the offseason was a failure. I'm not saying we didn't upgrade our pitching staff, especially with the recent signing of Bassett. I think that really gives us some depth, especially I think it raises the floor of our starting rotation to a place where we should be at least in contention and be 6 deep. But I'm not saying that we went out there and got that much better as a starting rotation.
Jason?
I think they already have an ace, and they might have 2. Kyle Bradish, the last time he played a full season, finished 4th in the AL Cy Young. And last year, Trevor Rogers pitched out of his mind. But after he made all kinds of changes with not only his health, his body, but also his mechanics, I think you have 2 pitchers this year that are sub-3 ERAs, and that both of them finish in the top 10 in Cy Young votings, maybe even top 7, top 5. So I think this rotation's just fine.
Okay. So follow up. Mike Elias said he's comfortable not getting Framber Valdez because they're expecting a big year from Cade Povich. And I quote, "We want Cade to reach 180 to 200 innings and become elite." Jason, is this a pipe dream or reality?
I think he's a dirty, dirty, stinky liar, and he went out and signed Chris Bassett the next day. So I have
Thank God you said that.
I have supported Mike Elias, but see, I text Mike too, and I did say it's interesting to me that they might let him run a little bit. So maybe there's some stuff he worked on that, because I don't think 170 innings is out of the realm. But if he pitches 170 innings this year, something terrible happened in your rotation. Somebody got hurt, and I don't want that again. So dirty, dirty liar, Chris Bassett.
Mike, do you have anything on that?
It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense, John. He couldn't even stay in our starting rotation last year as one of our top 5 pitchers. Barely. He was hanging on. It's number 5. Like, come on. Don't try to sell me something like that. That's ridiculous.
So topic number 2, Joe Ryan. Mike, you've proposed a trade of Povich, Dylan Beavers, Kobe Mayo, and possibly others for Joe Ryan. Are you still defending that trade package, or are you opposing it?
I would defend that trade package. I wouldn't say others, but the 3 of those guys. You said Beavers, Povich, and Mayo. Absolutely,
Yes.
because
no. You said that, not me. You said that.
Yeah, but you said others. I didn't say others. I think those 3 would do it. And the fact that you would give a Povich up, yes, you're losing some controllable starting pitching, but you are getting a major upgrade in your pitching rotation, and you're trying to win right now. And you don't have Gunnar signed long-term. You don't have Adley signed long-term. So, yes, you're sacrificing some youth and some controllable assets to win now. And I think now's the time to do it. So if you're going to go trade for somebody, and Mayo really doesn't have a place in this lineup right now. I mean, he's a luxury with some injuries. Yeah, maybe you can see him get some reps at third base, but he really doesn't have a place in this lineup. The only one I would hesitate a little bit on is Beavers, but again, he hasn't shown it for consistently for year in, year out. He had a really good year last year.
For the record, he said Beavers, Mayo, Povich, but then you did say, Mike, that you think they might want Gibson. I don't think you would give Gibson in with those other ones. It'd be like a replacement. So it seems like a lot. It really does. But like Joe Ryan could be really special. The issue is at this point, if like it's not happening at this point, like you're already. I don't want to say it's not, but I don't think it is. I wouldn't do that at the trade deadline because things get cheaper now because you have less control. So they get more expensive, but they get cheaper at the same. That's a weird comment, I know, but they do. Like maybe more players get involved, but no one on the active roster is going to get traded because you need them, right? So now you're getting more prospects involved. So I'm believe it or not, I agree with Mr. Frisky that that I would do that trade. I think, although I'm kind of intrigued to see what happens with Mayo with getting more at bats this year. But it's not like I wouldn't pull the trigger. But Beavers and Mayo, that might be a tough one because what if Cowser isn't what Cowser we thought he was going to be?
Yeah. All right. Next one, Ravens coaching. Anthony Weaver is the new defensive coordinator, but Jesse Minter will call the plays. How will these two work together? Clash or complement? And does having a former Raven back in the house help Minter? Jason?
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about this. I mean, it 100% in my mind, it complements. There's no clashing. He wouldn't have came on if there was going to be any clashing. I think he's going to have a lot of responsibilities. Mike said a couple weeks ago that like the coordinators are going to be running the practices most of the time. So to me, that's a big one. Harbaugh ran a lot and Billick ran their own practices. So I don't know how all this is going to work, but you obviously work your side of the ball. Compliment for me, man. I think it's great.
Mike?
No, I don't. I actually don't disagree with you, Jason. I just think that when you are confident in your abilities, you don't have to be the smartest guy in the room. You feel comfortable hiring guys that could take your job or might take your job. I think that's all part of this. And Minter came in very confident, and he's hiring older coaches, younger coaches, a mix of coaches. He just wants the best people in the building. And he's worked with Minter before. Weaver and Minter have worked together before. There's and Weaver wouldn't have taken the job. He knows that Minter's going to call the plays. It's not like he's going to surprise, hey, you know what? You're not calling the plays. That's not part of it. So Weaver also probably sees this as a springboard for himself, I would think, right, to come back to the Baltimore Ravens. And when a Minter and Weaver defense performs really, really well, look at the other side of the ball. Look at Declan Doyle. He wasn't calling the offensive plays for the Bears, and that got him the offensive coordinator job for the Ravens. And he gets to call the plays this year. So I see, whatever that works out for Weaver, I just see it working out well. And I think he sees the same thing.
Okay, so grade the Ravens coaching staff this offseason. And we already talked about this. Which position of need is going to be worth the most money to spend with our cap situation right now? Mike?
So I'm grading.
Grade the coaching staff.
Okay.
Grade the coaching staff hiring, and then which position with the limited cap space, unless they can redo Jackson's contract, with the limited cap space, which position are we going to throw the most money at?
I think I would grade the coaching staff as an A-, maybe. I don't know. Seems like a fair grade. I think Minter is a really good hire as head coach. The minus probably comes from Declan Doyle and the lack of experience he has in calling plays. It scares me a little bit. And then Anthony Weaver is a solid defensive coach. He had a little bit of a hiccup in Miami this last season, so that also maybe kind of goes into the A- grade. But other than that, I think they're well on their way. As far as where they're going to spend their cap, I hope it's pass rush. I hope it's defensive end. I know Jason has been harping on offensive and defensive line. To me, we have ignored the defensive end position for way too long. So I hope that they spend some money there.
Jason?
I'm going to disagree, Mike. I'm going to say it's an A+. I actually think the Declan Doyle thing is it's a good thing. He ran that offensive side of the ball in Chicago, and then on game day, they turned it over to the head coach to call the plays. He's so well thought of throughout the league. Everybody has nothing but good things to say. I think that's their best hire all off season. Just couldn't say it was my gold because John already said go. I wouldn't disagree with him. But yeah, I say A+. I don't see a weakness here. I don't see anything where they should have hired this person instead of this person, in my eyes at least. So I'm going to say A+. And I love the aggressiveness and the forward thinking of bringing Joe Lombardi in. I love the college coaches that they brought in. I think it's great. And then the other thing, John, was because your money will go longer, I think it's important to go get the guards. I think it's important to get, like Mike said, I think you can get DNs that aren't the top DNs. If you miss out on Hendrickson, you can still get Reddick and someone else. See, you only need one, I think, because if you sign Van Noy back. So, but again, to me, it comes down to what these guys want, how it's going to fit in their system. And I'm all in on listening to what they want to do. So if they don't go out and get the most expensive guy, there's a reason behind it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So we're going to shift here from Ravens to schooling.
Oh, boy.
Jason sends his daughter to a private school. Mike teaches and has kids in public school. Let's change this up. Jason, how would you work as a homeschool dad teaching your daughter all of her subjects? And
so
where would you go for help?
Do you guys have cameras in here or something? Do you guys have microphones in my house? So we are actually thinking we may homeschool when we get to high school. My daughter has obviously been in private school her entire life, but we are leaning towards the homeschool thing. It won't be taught by Jason. Jason's not teaching any children, okay? But there's a lot of things that I am no longer, as someone that went through school, went to college, have a degree. I don't have a lot of faith anymore in the school system. Sorry, Mike. No, you're a teacher. John, I'm sorry. I know your dad's been a teacher his entire life. Sorry, Mr. Lanscraner. Um, I think that the school system was started a long time ago to create factory workers. And a lot of that has unfortunately not changed. I want my children to think outside the box. I want them to have other opportunities than sitting at a desk for 6 to 8 hours a day. I don't think it's I don't think it's healthy. So for me, I am going. So I'm sorry, John. I'm taking this a little different direction, but I'm not teaching my child because I don't believe it. But I will be finding resources in which can do that. Sorry, Mike. Don't shoot the messenger. Still love you,
Mike.
What's my question?
You're a gym teacher, Mike. How would you teach your child social studies and science and algebra 2 and calculus and
Math would be the issue. Math would be the issue for me because where's Kevin? Not thank you so much for just being really smart and helping.
I would like to interrupt. I would like to interrupt, and challenge. Mike was the salutatorian of our class. He's playing dumb. So shut up, Mike. Shut up. You're not allowed to challenge. You would be really good at teaching your children, no matter what the subject is. So stop playing dumb. Daddy loves you.
I have a backup though because of artificial intelligence. So you could just type it into Google Gemini and it could just double check my facts. So John uses it all the time. So I know exactly where I would go just to back up in case I didn't know how to do the slope intercept form.
Yes. Well, and yeah, there's other people who I know you could definitely bounce it off of. All right. Topic 5. So eating out versus home cooking.
Oh man.
Eating out. So the argument is there are particular foods that are better at home, but there are other foods that are better at a restaurant. So Mike, start with you. Is this a true or a false statement? And which foods are better at home and which foods are better at a restaurant?
Man. So John got me in the one thing. I do like eating out, but I don't know. Like, I think a lot of the foods that restaurants make, you can do just as good a job at. The problem is I just can't do just as good a job at it. Like I've had home cooked meals from really good human beings. My mother-in-law included. Like, she cooks amazing. Julie included. But like me, if you want me to cook it,
no, not you.
I'm gonna go out to eat.
Just in general. Are there foods that are better at home versus at a restaurant?
Anything that I don't want to see being made. So like a salad, I don't want to see you touching my lettuce and things like that. I'd rather have that happen at the restaurant and me not know what was happening. I'm just saying, I don't want to see it. Like anything that's seafood, like that kind of stuff. I like that at a restaurant. I would say a lot of the times. Anything that is, like a baked bread, that kind of stuff is usually I don't do a great job with that stuff. It's usually better at a restaurant. I don't know. I'm just making some stuff up, but I don't know. I'd rather eat at home most of the time, honestly, as far as really the best of whatever meal would be.
Jason?
Oh, wait till you come to Florida. Are you in for it? Homemade mayonnaise, homemade butter, homemade sourdough bread. Everything is cooked from scratch in my house. So I think everything's better than when you make it yourself. None of the additives, anything. You don't have to worry about any of that because you know exactly what the ingredients are. You don't have to play the game like, is it really the ingredients they say it is on the label? No, you don't have to play that game. You know what's in it because you're making it. And it's like we've gotten really good at like copying stuff. Like my daughter went on a birthday party to California Pizza Kitchen. Like all the girls went to the mall and they went and ate there, and my wife was there, and my daughter wanted boom boom shrimp. So she's been craving. That's all she ever wants to eat now is boom boom shrimp. So my wife made it, and better than California Pizza Kitchen, homemade, with the sauce, with everything. And now she eats it like every meal. But we've gotten to the point where we make the things and we freeze them now. so that the meals can be eaten. Same thing with pizza. We do sourdough pizza now. So I think now, can you make it taste exactly like McDonald's? Probably not, because it's pure poison. And they have that little magic dust that they wave to make it taste all the ways they want. Same thing with Doritos. It tastes delicious, but it's terrible for you. We were working on making things like that. But yes, John, there might be some things out there, but as far as better, I take health into it. So for me, no, it's not better. It's better health.
I would say things like sushi. I don't think I would try to make sushi at home. It would probably not taste good, but a lot of most other things, like my kids would rather have me cook than go out to eat.
And that's also very
pizza,
good.
You mentioned pizza. Like to me, like pizza at a pizza place, that real Italian pizza, like I can't make it as good as they can. So that's
Mike, that pizza place at the gas station that we got pizza from, the seafood pizza. That was
not at the gas station, next to the gas station.
No.
Next to
Well,
the
that was
gas
almost really bad. We had gas station seafood pizza. I didn't get out of bed for a
and
month.
sushi.
So for me, I like if I eat pizza, like from a restaurant or whatever, my blood sugar goes crazy because I'm a diabetic, right? I need so much insulin to counteract it. Sourdough pizza. So you take like they call it, I call it leavings. So like leftovers and stuff, I just call them leavings. But I'm sure it's called discard, I think. But leaving sounds more fun. And then you make the pizza crust out of it. And the glycemic index of it means that like carbohydrates are like a third. So my insulin is very low that I need to take. So much healthier for me to do it, and I feel better. If I go out and eat like 5 pieces of pizza, I'm going to feel terrible, like for hours. So for me, it's like I can't even do it anymore because of the diabetes and whatnot. But like, so one, I will tell you, like a really good burger, I still battle to this day with making them like I can get from a restaurant, like a big juicy burger. I still can't do it.
All right. Let's see. Okay, 2 more questions. All right. Beer versus liquor.
Ooh.
I know, Mike, you prefer beer, and Jason, you seem to prefer
I thought
liquor.
Mike prefers liquor too.
I do.
Oh, you prefer liquor
prefer
over
liquor.
beer? Okay, we'll take that question out then. Because it seems like you always I always thought Mike preferred beer because he's always like going to the brewery or whatever. But we'll take that question out. All right. So we'll just nix that one. All right, last one. So Maryland versus Florida. Jason and I live in Florida. Mike lives in Maryland. So I want to know, Mike, why is it better to stay in Maryland? And Jason, why is it better for everybody to move to Florida?
Who's going first?
You can go first, Jason, because it's
oh
easier.
My goodness.
It's
well,
easier.
I don't care if all you people move to Florida or not. No, I'm just kidding. It's warm. It's not cold. Like it is. It's not cold. Like, look, I'm not gonna get into the politics. That's your own decisions. I moved because I was tired of some nonsense. That's just me personally. Other people were fine with it by all means. But warm. Let me tell you. I used to spend all of my time during the year looking forward to the 3 months, 2.5 months, sorry, that I would get of summerish weather and going for 1 week or 2 weeks on a vacation during the summer. I no longer have to worry about that because I live very close to the beach. And even if I didn't live close to the beach, the weather is still warm and I didn't have to worry about that. There's no state income tax. It's exciting. Your paycheck, you don't have to worry about it. For me, I mean, it's a no-brainer. No state income tax, and it's warm. No polar bears, Mike.
But they do have a lot of things that can kill you down there. So
They do.
there's gators and snakes and all kinds of crazy things. You leave your kid fishing next to the pond, you better not leave him there for too long by himself, or you might find a part of your kid. So
use them for bait. Use them for bait.
No, for me, just the connection to your roots is always nice. So just being close to all the little places you grow up, there's some nostalgia here. Like I said in a previous episode, we get all the seasons, we get mountains, we get ocean. We got a little bit of everything. I like all the different temperatures. I don't like the cold particularly as much. I don't like the freezing cold. And if it's not snowing and it's cold, there's no good reason for it. But so I would say I would give you that one, Jason. And the fact that you can play golf year round, and I am stuck at a simulator for like 3 months. I do give you that one as well. However, there are a lot of tolls down there too. I'm just saying, and we have some tolls here, but isn't like every road it seems like in Florida I ever been on was on a toll road. Just
Well, it
saying.
depends where you go, Mike. Like
The
if you're
Sun
like
Pass
going,
and-
yeah, but if you people are going to, yeah, because when you guys come here, you do the tourist thing and you go to Disney and all that other nonsense. Like I don't think I pay a toll ever. Like we don't, like we go on all our side roads and stuff. It just depends on what you
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, sure. But back in Maryland, like I said, it's close to home. I have my, it's nice that I have my family nearby, so I do like that part of it too.
All right. Well, very good, guys. I would say you can have a closing argument, but we're crunched for time. So
Yes.
I'm not going to let either of you have a closing argument because I didn't even hear you call each other out. That was pretty good.
I did. I tried to call him out the one time, and he was allowed to keep talking.
I don't know what's happening.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure it all out. I'm not big on the debate, but I
Yep.
appreciate the topics, John. I think that you did a good job coming up
Well
with some
done,
good
John.
ideas.
Thank you. Well, we're officially in the new day. So happy Monday, everybody.
Happy Monday. Oh my. All right, guys. Well, anything else you guys want to talk about before we go?
Nope.
We've been dad bodding for a year at least, right? Is that right?
That's right.
Well over a year. Yeah.
I'm just saying. Gosh.
Yeah, we may
Lot
do
of
something
hours.
special. We might have some of our favorite guests do something, come on, something along those lines. But we'll see.
The one thing we do need though is if anybody knows people who'd be interested in sponsoring, send us an email, send us a message on Facebook or something, because we would love to get some sponsors, because we're looking at keeping the show fun and entertaining, but we also have to record somewhere and use some software and that sort of thing too. So anybody
Pay
knows,
the bills.
that would be great.
Well done, John. And much appreciated. If anybody has anything in mind, please reach out to us. Let us know, as we're trying to scramble to find a couple things out so we can continue to bring you all this nonsense that we bring you. We're going to start going hopefully twice a week here soon once some things pick up. Baseball season, I know things are going to pick up. We want to talk about everything. But until next time, until next time, for John Lanscraner, for Mike Frisky, I'm Jason Weisbecker, and we will see you next time.
Don't forget to subscribe to Dad Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports on Red Circle, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your free podcasts. And while you're at it, leave us a review. It really helps us out. We're trying to spread the good word about Baltimore sports far and wide. Follow us on social media for more behind-the-scenes actions, memes, and bad sports takes. You can find us at Dad Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports on Instagram, and Dad Bods, Crabcakes, and Sports on our Facebook page. Until next time, keep rocking those dad bods, eating those crab cakes, and never miss the game.